So let, let's just do it, Marty. Marty happens to be a guy that been following my show for a very, very long time. He's been in touch with me, and he's an XRP aficionado. He's north of the border. He's up in Canada. We're proud to own his country and make it the 51st state or 50th state or whatever. Bottom
Welcome.
line, what's that?
Welcome.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you would probably love that because you would get to carry a few of these. But anyway, needless to say, we've been in touch throughout the years. And one day he says, Mel, you're not going to believe this. I went to some garage sale and they had that chair, the chair he's sitting in, for sale for like 400 bucks or $450 Canadian. I forget the exact number. You'll correct me if I'm wrong. I think I still have pretty good memory. But anyway, and I said, not only does this guy get a microphone, he gets a chair. He starts a podcast. I says, how can I say no to this guy who wants to start a podcast? I can't do it, right? So I said, okay, we're going to do a podcast. And besides, he's persistent. I like that because in this business of podcasting, it's persistency, and he's going to probably screw it up just probably as many times as I did, or maybe less, maybe more. Who knows? But it doesn't matter. What matters is he's trying, and he's going to be inviting people over to his show, and he's going to be doing interviews. He's going to talk to like-minded people, and if he has some, great conversations that people can resonate with, boom, he's off to the races. The market will decide whether they should, tell Marty, sell your chair to Mel Carmine and get out of the business or keep going. You'll know. The numbers will tell you, right? So, man, welcome, bro.
Yep.
Listen, what an incredible inauguration. What an amazing, I mean, he didn't put his hand on the Bible because people say that he was already sworn in. I don't know if you knew
Yeah, that
that.
was on the 16th.
Right.
That was on
Supposedly
the
he's already
16th.
sworn in, and supposedly that he didn't put his hand on the Bible because if he puts his hand on the Bible, he would be swearing into the corporation of America, and he's not part of the corporation, he's part of the republic. Could be very true for all we know. I know that even though he's not a politician, he is in politics, and he cannot divulge and have a free conversation, just like you and I have that liberty of being able to do that here on this particular podcast. I don't know, but I know one thing. He immediately sent the word out to the border guards that they're allowed to do their job and they're allowed to stop the inflow. And there was video of people walking back the other way in the hundreds of thousands, like literally
Yep.
going back home. Okay,
Just like that.
exciting to see a guy that comes in on Martin Luther King's day, first day, and he goes to work immediately. Most people say, you know what? I'll start next week. You know what I mean? Let me take a couple of days off, which would have been the right thing to do. This guy's been through the ringer. Everybody against him. Russia, Russia, Russia. The media. Everybody against him. All the Hollywood. All the sports figures. Everybody was against him. Now everybody has no choice but to kiss the pinky ring. He gets elected. Boom. The hostage situation over there with the Palestine and Hezbollah done. I mean, I guarantee you next week will not go by and the war in Russia and Ukraine over. You know what I mean? He's a dynamo. He knows how to get shit done. He already said, Mexico, you're going to get 25% tariffs unless you do what we tell you to do. You know what Mexico's going to do? They're going to shit a tamale in their pants
For sure.
and they're going to do what he wants them to do. That's what I call a real president.
Absolutely.
Everything is pointing towards Nasara, even though they're not going to call it that. I've said this at nauseum on a lot of my shows, and I'll continue to say it because it has the characteristics of, hey, no taxes for people who work for tips, no taxes for the seniors who get a pension. No, Joe Rogan says, are you going to get rid of the IRS? He goes, yeah, maybe. You know what I mean? Like, how much more do you know, right? Tell us about what really got you motivated to buy a chair. Obviously, you're watching my show. You're going through this. You're driving through. What part of Canada are you in?
I'm in the most southern part. I'm right across the border from Detroit.
Oh, okay.
I
Interesting.
actually see Detroit from my house.
Interesting. So you're driving through, coming back from home, work, or you're away on a weekend or something, and you see a garage sale. Tell us about that story. That's interesting to me.
Well, it was actually we saw it on Marketplace on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
We saw the chair there. My wife sent me the picture of it. We laughed about it, and I bugged this lady for over a year and a half, almost 2 years. I kept sending her a message. Do you still have it? Do you still have it? And she would say yes, yes, yes. And then finally, her car broke down. So then she says, do you have any money? So I'm like, yes, I have a little bit of money. And I told her how much. She goes, okay, can you do that and then give us some more later? So I'm like, yeah, sure, I can. And it took me a good few months after that, paying her off. I finally got it.
Interesting. Interesting.
So, like you
So,
said, persistent.
yeah. So tell us a little bit about your show. I know the last time I checked, you had about a whopping 19 subscribers. All right.
I'm up
Uh,
to 70 something now.
Yay. I wasn't up to 70 in the first 2 weeks either. Okay. I'm telling you. So maybe you're off to the races. Who knows, man? Now it's just a matter of inviting a few people that like to talk about the same subjects that basically interest us. And we're basically becoming the new mainstream media. We know that. And then besides, we need somebody with a big chair north of the border. And you're the guy. You're the first
Everybody
one.
needs a big chair, right?
So tell us a little bit about some of the podcasts you've done. What did you talk about? Have you had any guests on, or you're on the verge of having a guest on? Tell us what that looks like.
Well, you know what they say, go big or go home, right?
Hmm.
So my first guess is you. So,
Oh, interesting.
yeah,
So you can ask me any question you want. You know, we're having a quantum summit in Cape Canaveral, March 8th and March 9th. We hope that we're going to get our $20 price tag, but something is going on with the crypto market, and I can't really put my finger on it. I thought Donald Trump was going to get sworn in and the market was going to take off. One thing that definitely happened is he came in with this official token, Trump token, that
yep,
literally sucked all the oxygen out of the room in the crypto market. I mean, this thing was about to beat XLM. I shit you not. This thing was in market cap, was
yep,
getting
I
ready to
saw
take.
that.
It was nuts. So that didn't happen. Now it's been fluctuating between 32 bucks and 49 bucks, right? And I don't know what's going to happen with this thing. It's a meme token. I've never bought a meme token in my entire life except for this one because it has the Trump name on it. When we found out that it was, real, my wife, I'm like, we're sitting in the center. I got a real bed. I said, "You want me to sleep in the center? You got to get me a real bed." So she bought me a real bed from Amazon. So, and it's got sort of like a high back like this. And so anyway, I'm sitting there. I'm like, "What are you doing? Who are you talking to?" She goes, "I'm not talking to you. She goes, I'm trying to buy the token." I said, "What token?" She says, "I'm trying to buy the Trump token, the official Trump token." I said, "Are you sure it's not a scam?" I said, "How much is it?" Well, she goes, "It's a meme token." And the next thing she said, "It's $8." I said, "It's got to be a scam. There's no way. A meme
Yep,
token usually is like, got like a bunch of zeros in front of it and then right, and it goes up a little bit, whatever. $8. I said, you're getting scammed. Anyway, my wife is very stubborn. She's Taurus. So she goes into a little office we have there on the side while I was sleeping. Like she tippy toed out and she bought this token. She bought like, a few $1,000s worth of this token
yep,
without me knowing. The next day, we're out eating some sushi. And sure enough, we find out the token is real. I bought in at $25.62. I bought it a couple of $1,000s worth as well. And I'm actually sort of breaking even. She actually made money, which is always the case, you know. So I got a sale price of
told you about
maybe,
XRP right at the beginning. You
yeah,
didn't
right.
listen then either.
Exactly. So 70, $80 I'm gonna probably get out if it goes up that high. And I'm gonna buy some. I actually She put in all the paperwork to see if I would qualify to be an accredited investor. I'm happy to announce here that I'm now an accredited investor. Probably by tomorrow, Donald Trump's going to announce that you don't need to be an accredited investor anymore.
Probably,
you
for
know,
sure.
so
Yeah.
my accreditation will be valid for one day. But anyway, needless to say, um, so we're buying this DeFi token that she wants to do that she thinks is going to go crazy. That's also tied into the Trumps, but you have to be an accredited investor to buy it. So I said to her, as soon as that thing reaches like $70 or so, sell it and dump it all into this DeFi thing that I think could go ballistic, right? Which is also tied into the Trumps. So I need to have a few tokens out there that when the tide rises, that I could sacrifice my, half of my V chain. I could sacrifice half of my stronghold. I could potentially sacrifice half of this, whatever token this is. Because I do believe that they have to put some kind of regulations in place. One, two, I believe that this market is going to stem on it blowing up if if not only the regulations, but if there's a lawsuit with Ginsler that's no longer in the picture with the SEC gets dropped. I think those two things alone can fuel the shit out of the crypto market. Agree or disagree?
Absolutely. We're just waiting for that, waiting for a few of these ducks to fall in place,
Hmm.
and we're gonna see it skyrocket.
Do you
Um,
think that we'll see a bull market, a massive bull market before March
yeah,
8th, March 9th?
we haven't hit the bull market yet. It's we're on the cusp of it,
Hmm.
and it's gonna take off.
Okay.
Now,
So
now,
you bought some XRP, right?
yes,
Cool.
and that's basically what my show has been about: is buying XRP, XLM, and XDC mostly. I had this guy. He told me whatever money you got to invest, take 70% of it, put it in XRP, the other 70% of what's left, put it in XLM, and then whatever is left, XDC.
That was me, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
You
but
know it.
what's funny, Marty. You and I have been communicating for quite a long time. I had no idea who you were, and I had no idea you had even any ambitions of getting a microphone, starting, and now with the chair. Now you're telling me that we're communicating. Yeah, I'm into XRP, I'm into XLM. I've been watching your show. I've been doing exactly what you're telling me to do. You're going to be probably one of those stories that's going to end up becoming a big deal down the road.
Sounds good to me.
You know what I mean? I
Yep.
mean, I would
We,
love for your like one of the communications in the next 6 months to be like, "Hey, Mel, you're not going to believe this. I'm a multimillionaire. I just told my boss to go fuck off." You know,
yep. Yep.
you
That would
know,
be good. That would be good.
yeah, yeah. What's wrong
Um,
with that?
Nothing. And that's what I base my show on so far is XRP, XLM. I'm trying to introduce to the people that have no idea of what's going on. Sure, they've heard of crypto. As soon as you say crypto, they go, "Oh, you mean Bitcoin?" Yeah, Bitcoin, but there's more to it than just Bitcoin. And I'm trying to introduce the fact that you need the ISO 20022 tokens, which are going to be compliant with the bank by March 10th, which is coming up pretty quick, right?
Hmm.
Now, you've also seen that uh, what's the bank you guys have? One
Bank of America.
Bank of America. Thank you. Bank of America has been using XRP for the last 2 years now
Yeah, that's
for all
true.
their interbanking
But
transactions.
very, very slow. The spigot has not been
Yeah.
turned on all the way. We know
Yep.
that. Yeah,
And
absolutely. So is Wells Fargo and Chase and Citi, all of them. Absolutely.
it's gonna happen. It's starting to. And that was some of my questions I had for you.
Sure.
Um,
Shoot
let's
away.
back up just a little bit. My first question is, who is Mel Carmine? We know the Mel Carmine on the screen here. We know who Mel Carmine is at XRP functions. What are you doing on the weekends? What do you do?
Man, I happen to be a workaholic, and so is my wife, because we know that there are a few things that we believe in wholeheartedly, just not me, but her just as much as myself. We do believe in life extension technology. As a matter of fact, we own life extension technology in Cape Canaveral. We have the telomere story that we tell with Julie, my friend down in Brickell Avenue in Miami. It was very well-to-do lady. She's been to our center. She's a very wealthy lady, but she knows a bargain when she sees one, and so she drives and passes up about 17 centers to be hang out with Mel Carmine. Besides the fact that she watches my show, and her telomeres literally grew by 23% in 1 month, which is unheard of. I mean,
Right.
23% is a lot because if that telomere that was 8.29, for example, represents her not living a day past 85 years old, for argument's sake, right? And now her telomeres went from that to 10.009, right?
Yep.
Uh, that means if she got a 23% increase in her telomere growth and she was only going to live to be, 85 years old, but that 23% increase, she may be very close to 100 or over 100. I don't know. I never really done the math, but maybe you
Yep.
guys who got a little calculator there on your fingertips, you can put the answer down below. 85, let's say 85 was at 8.29, which is that what she registered at with the blood test. And then the final blood test, which was towards at the end of a 30-day cycle, she tested at 0.09, which is about 23% increase. So you guys could figure out what it is. If she was 80, she was going to live to be 85, how much longer would that 23% be? So it's got to be
I
a
would
lot.
say, I would say just off the top of my head, it's about 98, 100.
Something like that. Exactly.
Yeah.
My question
Yep.
is, what happens if she stayed in the system another 30 days or 60 days?
It's going to increase even more.
Exactly. So that's what I'm doing. See, I've
Yep.
been in the system now a month and a half, on and off. I had a couple of breaks in between, but a month and a half, and I plan on staying there because I can't do nothing when I'm home sleeping. When I'm sleeping, I can't do work. I'd rather
Yep.
sleep in a system. I got $140,000 system sitting there. I might as well use it. It's on. Whether there's
Yep.
anybody in the room
Yep.
or nobody in the room, it's on. And it never goes off. So I said, let me utilize that. Man, I feel amazing, bro. I got to be honest. I feel amazing. So I'm trying to get my telomeres. I don't even want to do the before. I want to just do the after, and I want them to send me back the telomere test. Say, Mel, your telomeres are 17 centimeters long.
Perfect.
You know, that means I live to be 300 years old. Or something like that, right?
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, but that's a exciting project that we were doing, and I believe we just literally cracked the Da Vinci Code on the marketing. We're not going to let the secret sauce recipe out just yet because I might turn that into a business if I could find the right people to manage that sector of it. But very exciting stuff. I've been in pizzas for all my life. I've done nightclub promotions when I was young. I used to make a ton of money literally promoting nightclubs in New Jersey mostly.
Yep.
And I did extraordinarily well with that. Um, I run the gamut. I mean, I've traveled extensively. I've been all over, Central America. I've been all over South America. I've been all over, Europe. I'm in Southeast Asia a bunch of times. I've traveled. I've traveled extensively.
Yep.
Have I seen everything? No, but I think pretty soon we will. So I don't know if I'll ever retire, to be honest with you, because I'm the kind of guy that likes to always do something. I don't
Yep.
know if I want to work as hard once I got, $39 trillion in the bank. Probably not, you know.
Well, you got
Uh,
to work on what you're gonna, how to manage that money at that
oh,
point.
that's easy. That was I was an insurance agent, financial planner for years.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know how to do that. It's part of what I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know who to go to now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the best thing I could advise anybody. I know that the staking stuff sounds real sexy, but I'm gonna do some real estate, you know. And I told my wife
Yep.
instead of buying a house, because a house right now is a liability. It's not an asset as far as I'm concerned. All the insurance and all the upkeep and all the bullshit taxes that hopefully go away under Trump, which now we are under Trump officially. But it's a lot of money, and right now I'm just waiting for a nice real estate correction. And instead of when the revaluation actually manifests to the fullest extent or somewhat full of extent, I'll sacrifice my dinars, for example, and my zims and my dongs and all that kind of stuff, and maybe buy a 50 unit or a 60 unit apartment building. Maybe build something on the top floor, make it a little penthouse with the backyard for my doggies will be up on the roof. You know what I mean? Put a little pool and a sauna and that kind of a thing there. And
You're gonna put a helipad?
yeah, or no, maybe a flying saucer pad or
Oh,
whatever flying machine we have at the time. Yeah, I think
yeah,
we're,
they are
I think
coming.
this is all antiquated bullshit. All this, a freaking helicopter. I mean, it's all nonsense. We've had stuff that's better than that for 100 years.
Yep, it's all
Yeah,
suppressed.
yeah, absolutely. Sure, ask away,
Okay.
buddy.
So my next question is it's actually a three-part question. So Do you think people should own XRP? Number one. Number two, do you think people should really own XRP? And number three, do you think they should absolutely own XRP?
Yes, yes, and yes, and yes. Yeah, absolutely. You'd be crazy. This is like going back in time and somebody offered for you to buy Bitcoin at $1 or $2 or $3.
Yeah,
Knowing what you know today, if you can go back in a time capsule, knowing that Bitcoin is like 104, 105,000 right this second, okay, and knowing what you know today, and Bitcoin doesn't do nothing, we know that. It's this store of value is a
store
bullshit,
values.
hot air story, okay?
Yeah,
How many Bitcoins, if you could travel back in time and go back to a $3 Bitcoin, how many Bitcoins would you own today, knowing that it's $105,000 right now?
as much as were minted at that point.
I would sell everything. I would I
Yep.
would I would rob banks. I would have nine side hustles. I would do whatever it takes. I would have a lot of Bitcoin.
Well, that's exactly what I'm trying to introduce to people about XRP. I in one of my shows I talked about the crazy things I'm doing just to buy a couple more XRP. If you can, you don't have to go out to the restaurant, stay at home, do that. I know it's boring, but at least you're buying more XRP. I talk about um, driving really slow in my truck, and I'm driving like an old man, but I'm saving a ton of money. And I even compared it to my friend who lives in the same area, works at the same area,
Hmm.
and he's spending almost double what I am in gas. So I'm trying to introduce to people, cut every corner you can right now. If you can,
Yeah, if you don't
have
have
a
any
yard.
money, look, if you don't have any money, I believe the company, and I'll leave the link down below. I'll send you a copy of the video, by the way. So I forgot to give you the okay to record it. I'll send you a copy so you can download it. But anyway, needless to say, like for example, I'm offering people an opportunity like Legal Shield. I'm not offering them Legal Shield because I need another, business opportunity. I'm not even building my organization. I'm helping my organization underneath me build underneath them. I'm not even having the people sign up with me. I'm having them sign up with people that are underneath me. I really don't. I'm not like mega wealthy, but I'm definitely not poor. Okay. I am a multimillionaire, by the way. Like you said, I am accredited as of today, right?
Yep, yep.
But anyway, needless,
Congratulations.
yeah. So, like for example, my friend Frank Mancini, he handles my account. So if you're interested, for example, in handling, getting involved with this Legal Shield, you call Frank at area code 310-877-3331, right? 310. As a matter of fact, I think you could join over there in Canada too, if I'm not mistaken. Frank will tell you. 310-877-3331. Send them a text message saying, I want to know more about this Legal Shield. Listen, there are people making $15,000-$20,000 a month, the first month in the business, that are not even a third the size of a podcaster as I am. Not to toot my own horn. That's a fact. So, this is like having a lawyer in your back pocket. Number one, for example, you go on your Legal Shield here, and let me see if I can pull it up. There you go. I don't know if you can see it right there, Legal Shield. See it?
Yep,
Yeah. You
can see
click
that.
that. You click that. You hit the button that says call a lawyer. Within 30 to 45 seconds, you have an attorney in your pocket, right on the phone. You got an attorney in your pocket that travels with you wherever you go, 24 hours a day, 365. This is a company that's been around, for example, since 1972, 73. $2.6 billion company, trades on the New York Stock Exchange. This is not a multi-level marketing company that's going to go away. We call it next level marketing because multi-level marketing, when you introduce it to podcasters, we call it next level marketing because it's like the convergence of the perfect storm. We have a lot of eyeballs, right? And so, we're helping a lot of people build extra income and protecting their assets through a trust, having a lawyer, having a VPN. For example, we have these T-shirts that we're going to be selling at the Quantum Summit. We're going to put a trademark on that T-shirt. That's our artwork. Now we own that artwork outright from the artist. So the bottom line is I could take that T-shirt and put a trademark on it, and it's all part of that $2 and 12 cents or $2.50 a day that I'm paying to Legal Shield to protect me if I have a real estate problem or if I have a problem with my HOAs. The lawyers come in, they draft up a letter, they contact the HOA president, all of that stuff. What is that worth, right? What is it
Right.
worth the fact that maybe there's some bad people somewhere in some room thinking of how they can come back 50 or 100 years from now, right? After Trump, right, goes away. And maybe they'll impose taxes on everybody and somebody will come knock on your door, Marty, and even though you're into the new technology and you went through a celestial chambers and now you have a 2,000 year lifespan, somebody comes knocking on your door 100 years from now and say, hey, you owe us some money. You made a lot of money with cryptos with Mel Carmine. You owe us 40% of your bags. You
Yep.
say, no, 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 no. I got it all on Legal Shield Trust, and you get the fuck off my property. Otherwise, I'll
Yep.
blow you away. Right?
Yep.
You understand? So,
Absolutely.
isn't that worth? I mean, look, we all fell asleep in the driver's seat, right? We all fell asleep in the driver's seat, and only to wake up to a nightmare called the New World Order, which the New World Order died on January 20th, 2025.
Thank you very much.
Right?
Yep.
And so why leave that to chance? There's an old saying, once bitten, twice shy, right? If you screw me the first time, shame on you. You screw me a second time, shame on me,
Yep.
right? So why leave anything to chance? And if it comes with a business opportunity where you can make 5, 10, 15, $20,000 a month if you're willing to put, your nose to the grindstone, isn't that worth it? It'll give you an opportunity to buy more XRP. Isn't that worth it? Right now
Yep.
that the price is still $3,
That's exactly what I was thinking.
right?
Buy more XRP, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
And be protected at the same time. I think that's priceless. So, there are opportunities in America and Canada, wherever you look, if you're willing to work. Some people complain, oh, I got no money. But then when you offer them an opportunity like this, they won't do it because a lot of them don't want to really work hard. They want somebody to just hand it to them. That's not
Yep.
the way life works,
Yep.
you know?
It's like I said, I'm doing everything that I can. I've got two full-time jobs, right? And I've been doing all this other stuff on the side just to accumulate more XRP as much as I can because we
Yeah.
only go through the greatest wealth transfer once,
Yeah.
right?
My friend Dylan, who's got a podcast that's not even 25% the size of Mel Carmine. Okay. His first month, obviously he doesn't have like, 9 other businesses to run like myself. I'm busy. So I'm more busy building other people's organizations than build my own. I really don't care. And so the bottom line is he comes in the first month he scratches 20,000. The second month he scratches 20,000. The third month it looks like he's going to do over 30,000 this month. Okay,
Wow.
income. All right, so the opportunity's there. I like the fact that the compensation plan pays you. Somebody comes in and pays for their first month. It pays you for 12 months that commission up front.
Right.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And
You
people
said you're
don't
gonna put
drop
the
the
link.
service because they need it. You understand?
Yeah. You said you're gonna put that link at the bottom too?
Yeah, I'll have a no. Just call Frank, and Frank will tell you how to do it. I don't have no time for it. I I
Okay.
I get involved with these things, but I always tell the people, I say, look, if I'm going to do it, like this one, I couldn't pass up. It was too good. I said, if I'm going to do it, I got to have somebody that I trust that can handle my account. Otherwise, I can't do it. Okay, no problem. But I
Right.
said, when you get a lead, you got to jump on it fast because leads are like, it's like a hot coal. If I give you a hot coal right now, in an hour from now, that hot coal is not going to be as hot as it was an hour ago, right? You
Right.
got to jump
Right.
on it fast, right? So you got a
Yep.
hot lead, you got to go fast. Tomorrow, that lead is not the same lead. The next day, they're not even. They may be somewhat interested. The third day, they're done. They're not. They don't even want. They don't want to hear about it.
Right.
So you got
Right.
to. The important thing with any business opportunity, I don't care if you're selling ice cream, if you're selling healing services. I don't care if you're selling hammers out of the trunk of your car. You gotta move fast.
Yep.
Right? If that client is interested, you got to go boom, close them. Right?
Absolutely. And that's kind of what we're up against right now as far as the XRP. We gotta hurry because
Well, I love Gary Gensler. I'm one of the guys that loves. I would love to bring Gary Gensler back and bring that price back down to 50 cents for another 6 months. Believe me.
absolutely, I was happy that he was holding it back
Yeah.
for us. Now going forward, it's already at $3.20 roughly,
Mhm.
and it's gonna hit $10, $20, 50. So people still have time, and that's
Yeah.
what I'm
What is the name of
encouraging
your
people to
channel?
do.
This way people can follow you.
On the brink, because really we are on the brink of the greatest wealth transfer,
On
right?
the brink altogether, or there's a
On
separation.
yeah, they're separated on the and then brink, spelled with a Q at the end.
Got it. It's important, see, because if they get the wrong spelling, they're going to go to the wrong channel.
Yep,
And they
yep.
say, well, where's the guy with the big chair? He's not there. What other questions you got there, Marty?
Okay, I got lots of them. A lot of people are now starting to ask, and will continue asking even more as time goes on, right? Why XRP, and how did you know?
You know, I didn't know. It was my wife. I've told the story 100 times, but there's not even 1/100th of 1%, not even 1,000th of 1% of the world's population is involved in digital assets.
Yep,
Okay. It's a very small number. So I always have to tell the story because we do have a lot of new people at this point because we got the cryptocurrency president, Donald J. Trump, with his sons that are crypto fanatics. Okay. And so a lot of eyeballs, the most popular man in the world, the most popular family in the world is saying cryptocurrency, digital assets are going to run the world, and the whole world is now paying attention. So there's a lot of new people coming into the space. So how did I know? I didn't know because I was so into that story of Bitcoin and down with the man and blah 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 and all the bullshit and all the nonsense,
yep,
only to
yep,
find out that Bitcoin doesn't work. Brad Kimes, who's a friend of mine, Brad moved 2 Bitcoins about a year and a half, 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. Yeah, about 3 years ago, and it cost him $5,000, and he had to wait 6 hours for those Bitcoins to get from point A to point B because the
yep,
network was busy.
yep,
Okay, so the Bitcoin was created to really, what you would call it, to transact, right? But it
yep,
doesn't transact because of the mining. It uses up too much energy. I mean, do you realize now that, for example, every couple of years they have what's called a halving, and you can only mine half of the tokens that you used to be able to mine the previous 3 years, and you need more equipment, more energy to mine half the amount of tokens you were able to mine the last 2 3 years. That's why they call it the halving. Do you realize that right now to mine a couple of bitcoins, you could run your house for the next 15 years, 20 years on energy?
yep. It's not worth it.
I'm not talking a small house. I'm talking a big house. I'm
Yep,
talking like a miniature mansion, 5 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, 5 bathrooms, a swimming pool, the whole 9 yards, right? That's what
yep,
I'm talking about, right?
yep,
You could run your house for the next 20 years on energy, free energy, for mining 2 Bitcoins. XRP moves from point A to point B. You don't have to mine it, it's pre mined. It moves at lightning speed. If you go to YouTube and punch in uh, XRP trillions of transactions per second, there's a video that comes up by Moon Lambo. I suggest you watch it because it's a very intriguing video. And it proves my point because the people he's talking about in that video are people that are incognito that we believe work for who? Ripple, sitting on the board, allowed to put out some breadcrumbs so that we can sort of scratch our heads, right? So the bottom line becomes Bitcoin, heavy, expensive, takes too much energy. XRP, light, moves at lightning speed. Michael Arrington Capital moves $55 million. The story lives on the internet, and it cost the guy 30 cents to move $55 million, and it took a whopping 1.8 seconds. 1.8 seconds, lightning speed. We could scale to 4.5 trillion transactions per second. Again, go punch in XRP trillions of transactions per second on YouTube. Watch Moon Lambo's video. Undeniable, irrevocable, irrefutable evidence that that's what we have. So we're not too late. We're too
No,
late for the
no.
Bitcoin. Well, we're not too late for the final Bitcoin called XRP, the one that
Bitcoin
actually does
2.0.
work. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when I learned about, what XRP really was, I could not get enough. I could not get enough of knowing more. I wanted to know more. The videos would come out. I started following people that aren't even here anymore today. And I'm going back 9 years. My wife, I gave her $50 just to get her out of my hair, and she went and bought the first XRP at
400 or
point
something.
zero zero 0.002 of a penny. Okay, and for $50, she bought 12,500 XRPs. I
Yep.
tell the story all the time because there's new people coming in, right? But that's pretty freaking amazing, right? So, how many people would love to buy XRP today for $50? You buy 12,500 XRP. Everybody would love that, knowing that the price tag is $3.17.
Yeah. I've been telling people you need to get XRP, and then it was like 33 cents, and now we're at 3.30 roughly. It's like
Right.
done a 10x just in the last. Well, 33 cents was about almost a year ago. So, but in the last few months, it's done a 4 or 5x, right?
Yeah.
So I'm still trying to tell people, and they get excited for 2 minutes. And then the next time I see them, they're like, yeah, well, we're thinking about it. We're looking into it.
Yeah. Don't
And
waste
that's
your
what I'm,
time. If it's not registering, just keep moving on.
yeah,
Don't waste your
that's what I
time.
do.
Because you know what? There's so many people out there that have enough skills. It's really not that difficult to do this. You know that. Um, Obviously, you got to jump through a couple of hoops. There is a learning curve, but it's not impossible to learn. Unfortunately, we got so many people that are up there in age, 70, 75, and it's just over the heads. Like I got this guy, Eugene, a friend of mine. It's actually a friend of Frank Mansini. As a matter of fact, if this sale closes, which I believe it will, he's going to be buying $150,000 worth of silver from carminesgold.com. See,
Okay.
I got my fingers in a lot of pots because
Yep.
I can't watch, $9 quadrillion moving underneath my nose because everybody's scared because they realize that the banks could call a bank holiday and you're going to go to the bank and realize that you can't even take your money out and you may be restricted to 40 or $50 a day if you're lucky, maybe even as low as 25, right? And
Yep.
and people are taking their money in droves and putting into gold and silver, right? Because they're scared of what's getting ready to happen. So this guy, I try to put him through my broker, through my brokers. I have brokers all over the world. The people want to buy a large amount of XRP, $10,000 or more. They come
Yep.
through my broker. They get in touch with us at qfs1776@gmail.com. And then we put them through the broker. And the guy doesn't have a computer. He doesn't have an email address. He's not going to do the KYC. Well, guess what? He doesn't qualify to own XRP, but he does qualify to own what? Silver, which in my opinion, silver is the tangible asset Bitcoin, equivalent to Bitcoin, because I do expect that the gold is going to go to 30, $40,000 per ounce, and I do
Hmm.
expect that the silver is not going to be too far behind from that. Now,
Yep.
is it going to happen tomorrow? No, but we don't care. Why? Because we have life extension technology. That's why. If
Yep.
we have life extension technology, we could buy a couple of 100 years. Gee, I got all the time in the world, don't I?
Yep.
Right? I'll
But
wait
that's
it
the
out.
problem. A lot of people, they don't understand investing, and that's what I'm trying to promote is for people who don't know how to invest and where the first spot to start is, because they're afraid to invest because they think they're just going to lose their money, and I get that. But one of the mistakes they always make is they want it now. So you got to invest. Like, how many years have you been invested in XRP?
It'll be May 18th, it'll be 9 years.
9 years. So you've been patient.
Very patient.
Have you sold any XRP?
Never,
I didn't think so because you know what it
never,
is.
never.
You,
I will work myself down to the bone to make sure I'm never going to be in a position to where I have to sell my XRP.
yeah. and I'm the same way, and I don't think I'm ever gonna sell it.
Yeah, I will sell gold. I will sell silver. I will start a gold and silver company like I did. I will do the legal shield with Frank Mansini. Okay. I will break the Da Vinci Code on marketing, staying alive in Cape Canaveral, staying alive with two E's at the end, stayingalive.com. Okay. The other one belongs to the Bee Gees. And I will make my money with merchandise, and I will make a little bit of money with YouTube, not a lot. I mean, like I got between my two channels on YouTube, I got 65,000 subscribers. Right? You would think realistically, you should make $1 minimum. Bear, I mean, I'm being conservative, ultra, 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 ultra conservative. $1 per subscriber per year. That's $65,000 a year. I would love to show you my back office. I guarantee you, I'm not going to make $9,000 this year between both channels because they've changed the compensation plan to their favor so many times.
Yeah,
Okay, they make all of the money. They give you a couple of crumbs, literally.
and I'm not really here for that anyways, because I'm here more for the fact that people need to be aware of this stuff. We
Right.
need to educate people.
Exactly. To
It's
me,
too,
even my little, commission, or I don't even call it commission. It's a finder's fee that they give me a little crumb, like my brokers every time I send them a customers. A lot of my customers are whales, so sometimes that little crumb is a pretty decent number.
yeah,
A
yep,
lot more than I make on YouTube and Rumble and merchandising combined. Okay, and
yep,
I can tell you that I reinvested that. I always say give it to me in XRP 9 out of 10 times,
yep.
and or give it to me in XLM or give it to me in XDC sometimes. Most times it's always XRP. So I've accumulated hundreds of thousands, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands just off of that, and I still bought enough cash flow and with staying alive, the gold business, the merchandising business, the whatever kind of business, the now the legal shield is starting to make some nice cash flow too, right?
Right,
And I
right.
don't never have to. Yeah, my expenses are high. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got to make 14, 15 grand a month just to break even.
Well, you got to pay for your doom buggy too, right?
Well, my Doom buggy sold. I put
What?
that into XRP. Yeah, I sold it. I
Okay.
sold everything.
You know what?
Yeah,
I've done that stuff too. I've sold stuff that
yeah.
I would like to keep, but you know what? I don't need it. I can buy 10 of them later.
I could buy 900 Doom buggies later.
Yeah.
I can have a fleet of Doom buggies. I don't need fleet. I don't even need one right now. I'm too busy.
Well, let's
You
get a
know?
fleet. We'll all go doom buggying together.
Oh my God. Can you imagine?
That'd be a blast.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they are a lot of fun to drive, but they are problematic. I mean,
Yeah.
those cars, those engines, old, Beetle bug engines. If I was to build another, not to get off subject, but if I was to build another Doom buggy, it would be an automatic transmission, Tiptronic,
Yep.
six
Yep.
speed, and they would have to obviously build a piece that would marry the engine and transmission together, and the engine would either be most likely, most likely a Porsche Boxster engine.
Okay. Yep. You need
All
something
right.
that's gonna handle your driving, right?
Yes, yes. And I would literally, once they build the body, I would chop it in half, and I would make it 17 inches wider because it's a little tight in there. So
Yep.
17
Yep.
inches wider, and then I would chop it up in half again, and I would make it 17 inches longer.
Perfect.
Yeah, and I got a guy in Colorado, I believe he is. He's a friend of mine that he's also follows my show, and he's got a whole garage with a couple of mechanics that work with him, whatever. And that's all he does is he builds doom buggies. He said, "Mel, we can build you anything you want." I said, "Well, one day when I don't need to I'll do maybe one podcast a month. I will come at you, and you can build me the dream doom buggy, right?"
There you go. That's a good goal to have, right?
Yeah, yeah. But I had a killer doom buggy. You remember that, right?
Yeah, I did see it, and I see you were wearing motocross shirts quite a few times too.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Though, well, you have to wear those when it gets hot in Costa Rica, and those motocross shorts, they're good because it blocks out the sun. right?
Yep.
You don't get all of the sun, you get some of it, but it allows you to breathe,
And it doesn't stick to your skin or anything like
Yeah,
that either.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Just so you know, I do race motocross, so that's another
Interesting.
reason why I'm stacking some XRP aside.
Nice, nice.
So that's what I want to do.
What are some of your other questions in your arsenal, Marty?
Um, Let me see here. How do you see XRP as a real world asset? Because a lot of people they don't they think all this crypto stuff they think it's, and I don't like the word crypto just like you don't, digital assets. They think it's some imaginary thing in space and they're gonna lose their money, and but we know XRP is a real world asset. How do you see it as that?
Well, they thought the internet was also a fad and it was going to go away.
Yep,
So here we are, right? It's not a
yep,
fad, and nothing happens today without the internet, not even cryptocurrency or digital assets. I see the whatever banks or financial institutions that survived this whole thing, they're going to have to abide by it. I don't. I'm absolutely certain that Donald Trump is not going to allow them to have their central bank digital currency, simply because if we allow them to do that, it's like giving them their own private printing press to their own
yep,
money, and
yep.
they're gonna print it to oblivion. Okay, and we're gonna have the same problem all over again. Deja vu. We don't want that. So
No,
Donald Trump's smart enough. He knows, hey, these things work perfectly well peer to peer. We will allow the banks to custody your digital assets. They'll go through your your credit card, debit card, whatever, right? There's no
yep.
numbers in there. Good. Yeah. And I'm gonna make sure I'm flashing the right side, man. Somebody go shopping with my card, I'll kill you. So anyway, long story is that so you're gonna your credit card and debit cards are gonna work on what? The blockchain.
Yeah,
Right? So your money is going to be your digital assets, whether it's digital assets or there's a buyout, and they give you money that's tied into gold or silver or physical, tangible, where it's got real value. What is it called? There's a name for it. It'll come to me. Um, but anyway, it will come to me. It's got to have real value. All right, intrinsical. That's the word I'm looking for. Intrinsical
yep,
value. Once we know that that's what we have, whether it's cash that's backed up by digital by physical assets or it's digital currency, it's going to be tied to your debit card, credit card, and it'll be business as usual for the banks, but they're not going to be allowed to what? Rape you. They're not going to
right.
be allowed to charge you all these bullshit fees and whatever. You know what I'm talking about. The peer to peer stuff is very real. I could, one day if you go out of business, say, Mel, I don't want to be in the podcasting business anymore. I'm worth, $82 million US, and I want to sell you my chair because I hear you're building some studio with some, podcasters, whatever, and I want to buy that chair from you for $1,000 worth of XRP. I could send the XRP directly to your wallet.
That's
I
what I
don't
was
need
gonna suggest.
Yeah, I don't need to go
We,
through a central bank digital currency. So
yeah,
the central banks of the world realize they lost their power. You and I have, in essence, become our own banks,
yeah,
right? And because we've become our own banks, and they didn't understand or understand how disruptive this was. Because if they believe me when I tell you, if they would have got wind of what this was and they understood it to the fullest extent of what it is today, back then they would have stopped us.
yeah, for sure. They would have accumulated everything that they
They would
could.
have stopped us.
Yeah,
They would have stopped us, and we would have been in a lot of trouble. But
yeah,
because, but because we were smarter than the banks, and we started to educate ourselves, which led to the demise of the banks. It's a beautiful day,
yeah.
isn't it?
BYOB, right? Be your
Yeah,
own bank.
yeah. BYOB and if you come try to take my money, BYOB. Bring your own body bag.
That sounds like back when you were in New York.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I'm just gonna go to my last question here, for time reasons,
Hmm.
and then you've had enough, right?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Um, what do you recommend for the new person hearing this for the first time? What should they do? Number one, I say they should go to qfs1776.com.
100%.
What do you recommend after that?
Watch all the videos, read the documents. There's a document number 9, which is Jasara document, which is exactly what's happening now, except they're not calling it that. They're calling it DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. That's what they're calling it. Because if you read that document, it's about government efficiency. That's what that document's about.
But it's been government inefficient.
Yes, but that document was preaching or pitching government efficiency to the government, and they said no. And then 9/11 happened, and the Pentagon happened, and all that stuff happened. We don't want to get your channel shut down. You know what I'm talking about.
Yep, yep,
They
yep,
needed and they needed a distraction, and they needed a diversion, and they got one. So
yep.
here we are. But Donald Trump is ushering in the Jasara, and it's called DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. No income taxes, no property taxes. Okay. Sales taxes are going to be strictly on things you want, not things
Luxury.
you need. If you want a
Yeah,
$300,000, a home theater system, you don't need a $300,000 home theater system. You could do it. You could do it. You get a really nice one for about maybe 10,000 or 15,000. Okay. But if you want to spend 300,000, that would be considered a luxury. That's a want. And something like that is going to get taxed, 10%, whatever it is. I think they're going to do away with taxes altogether. I think it's going to be only tariffs. In other words, we're charging all these countries who want to do business with America taxes to do business with America. Because why? Because we're the most consuming nation in the world. You want to sell your products to the American people, you're going to pay us a tax. We want to create wealth in America.
yeah.
We don't want to create poverty. We want to clean up the homes, the homeless. We want to clean up the air, the atmosphere. We want to clean up the water. We want to clean this government, shrink it down to like not 5%, but 2%, because we have so much blockchain. The reason why they don't want blockchain, Marty, is because they realize you cannot finagle the bagel anymore. You can almost what's his name? Economic Ninja, which I follow religiously, even though I
Yep.
don't like his thumbnails. He always paints a very grim picture, and the sky is falling and all that bullshit.
Yep,
A
yep.
few of them do that. Nice guy, but a very, very knowledgeable guy. I like him. So if your audience wants to follow a guy besides me and you, Economic Ninja. So Economic Ninja, for example, he's been around for quite a long time. He knows his stuff, and he's into gold and silver and XRP and all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? He's been doing it for a very, very long time. And I really lost my train of thought. What was I going to say about the Economic Ninja? What were you talking about? What was the question? Let's go back to the
Um,
question.
we were talking about the QFS 1776,
Oh,
where you get
yeah.
all your information.
Yeah, you got to go there and watch all the videos. Watch top to bottom. Oh, when you come to the Quantum Summit, right, in Cape Canaveral, which is going to be an incredible, hopefully a big party, because you see, the Quantum Summit will most likely end up being the very first party. The very first party, if there is a $20 or $30 or $40 XRP that people can attend, it's the first party of 2025, because there's going to be a lot of XRP people there and some cool XRP people on stage like Mikkel Markets and the Black Swan Brothers and so on. There's going to be some serious cool cats that know this stuff. Mikkel Markets, especially, I call him the Bruce Lee of XRP, because he knows the minute details of exactly why everything works the way it works. He's amazing. So the bottom line becomes that even people like he still is a Bitcoin aficionado because he owns a lot of Bitcoin. But to me, it's like, it doesn't make any sense. Why do you even own Bitcoin? Take your Bitcoin, buy XRP, all right, parlay it over. If you got 10 Bitcoins right now, then you're worth over $1 million, right? You could buy a lot of XRP for
Yeah.
$1 million. Just sit back and relax. My friend who I talked her into selling her 90 Bitcoins, right, and putting it all into XRP. I won't tell you who she is. She said, Mel, I'm much better off, because when she did that, Bitcoin was $49,000 and Bitcoin was $49,000 and XRP was 49 cents. XRP is now $3.30, which is 6 times
Yeah.
plus, and Bitcoin is up 2 times.
Yeah.
No brainer, right?
Yeah.
She gets it.
That's what I
So
tell people too.
they keep you distracted with that, figure, $100,000. Woo, big shiny number.
Yeah.
But if you're at 49 cents and you go to $3.39, or you're at 49,000 and you go to 105,000, where would you rather have your money?
Exactly. And that's what I've been telling people too is right now Bitcoin is at 100,000. For it to just double, it's got to get to an astronomical number of 200,000.
Sure.
So it's going to take a lot more for it to get to that level,
Yeah.
and that's only a 2x.
Yeah. What do you think of Donald Trump wanting to buy Greenland, taking over the Panama Canal? You know why he's changing the Gulf of Mexico over to the American Gulf, Gulf of America?
Because of the oil. I
Keep
forget
going.
what that was. I know it was something to do with the oil, and then it's going to
Biden
be
signed an
American made.
executive order that we cannot mine or drill in the Gulf of Mexico. So if he changes the name to America, Gulf of America, hey, the executive order says Gulf of Mexico, but now it's no longer the Gulf of Mexico. It's the American Gulf. So I'm
So
drilling.
it's good to go.
You gotta love it.
He's
Yeah,
smart. He knows what he's doing, and uh,
yeah.
most of the times people will tell me, "Oh, well, he did this and he did that," and they're mad about it. Like, yeah, he was trolling. 3/4 of
Oh,
the
he's
time,
a
he's
master
trolling.
troller. He is a master troller. And now he
So,
owns millions of XRP, by the way. Millions.
yeah, yeah, I
This
heard
is
that just
going to
recently.
happen. It's
Yep,
going to happen this year. I expect a massive surge on XRP, conservatively $50 to $100 by the end of the year. Conservative number,
yep.
realistic number, not, pie in the sky. 2026 and 2027 are going to be. And listen, I sell 100,000 XRP at $100. That's $10 million.
Yep.
I can weather the storm for a long time. Mel Carmine, even though he's got a 15,000 a month expense, can live a very long time on $10 million.
Well, I got to tell you though, to buy this chair, it's going to cost quite a few XRP.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Brother, it was a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. And let me know how the show goes. Hopefully, this will spruce you up and get you going. Listen, don't worry about it. It's only a microphone, it's only a camera. You even forgot that the camera's on. You're just talking to Mel Carmen. We're having a conversation, we're
Uh,
recording it,
yeah,
we're having fun.
it's a lot easier doing this than just talking to the camera.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I'm getting
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. So, you know what you do? I'm going to give you a little hint, okay? Uh, Tell your people, hey, if you want to come on my show, any of your fans, you want to come on my show, you know about this stuff, you think you could talk about it, come on my show. Send me an email. They'll send you an email. Put them on the show. Start talking with like-minded people that are right. Your audience. That's how I did it.
Yeah, okay.
That's how I did it.
Yep.
I started talking to people that like follow me, and and I got a few people on the show, and they got the marbles out of my mouth, and the rest was history.
I just figured I'd start with the big kahuna.
Yeah. Most people that have reached my stature of success would not even talk to you. Not that it makes me. I'm just letting you know. I'm a kind-hearted guy, and I want to see everybody make it. I'm not like that. I'm not. I'm never going to allow success get to my head. You know why?
And
Because that's not who I am.
I know that. I know you're down to earth, and
Yeah,
that's what I hope everybody gets from today's show too, is that
yeah,
yeah, Mel's
yeah. I'm
down to
not.
earth.
I'm never gonna let it get to my head. Never. My
Yeah.
wife will smack me down so fast it'll make your head spin. Believe
Well,
me.
she should.
I love it. Brother, thank
Okay.
you. I'm going to hit the pause button. Guys, get this out and let's follow this guy. This guy's cool. I like Marty.
Thank you so much for being here for today.
Thank you.